It's going to be cold, so a lot of people are going to enjoy your show tonight. So we're looking forward to that. Here's what's happening outside. We're under a weather impact alert, and we're going to continue to focus on the fact that it's going to be very cold walking around. We did have a few snow showers, and I think you're going to deal with a few of them just kind of working their way through the area, but most of this isn't reaching the surface here. And one of the things that we're seeing is a lot of dry air that's in place as we have the leading edge of this. Now, this looks like it's snowing everywhere, right? And you look at the big picture for a lot of this moving through Arnold, I can't rule out that there are a few flakes. In fact, I could probably pull that camera up now that it's finally made its way through Arnold, but you're really not going to see much. A lot of this, especially here, is evaporating before it reaches the surface. There are pockets of moisture that are a little stronger than others, and so not all of it evaporates before it does reach the surface. That's where you're seeing some of this light snow, where it's in the darker shades here, moving through 55 on Festus. This is not going to impact your traffic. This is not something we have a problem with, but temperature-wise, we're at around 36 degrees. We're above freezing, so like I said, there's no problem. But one of the things we look at, our dew point at 22. Now, it was at 14 earlier, so the higher that number comes up and the closer it is to this number, the better chance that we have for none of that to evaporate before the surface. So that's what we're going to watch out for the next several hours. I think our temps are headed for the mid-40s. We have a west breeze at around 10 to 15 miles an hour, and we may see even a couple of sprinkles around. I can't rule that out, but the leading edge of this very cold air mass is in store for us. You'll see where we have this low that's sitting right here, right over the UP, right over Ironwood. And as it continues to drive in that really cold air, that's what is going to work its way in. You're starting to see that the leading edge of the 20s and 30s, that creeps in later on tonight, and then the real cold stuff is tomorrow night, and that's when our weather impact alert starts. What's going on right now, you can see where that is, and I'll even figure it out for you here as we'll see if this is kind of queued up for me, because I think I can still pull this off and draw a little better here. This is where this low is right now. We have this low, and you also see this counterclockwise motion moving in this direction, right? So as we continue to see this driving force behind this piece of energy, which will drive in some of these periods of snow showers around, that's what we're going to contend with. So these are, hit and miss. Not all of it's snowing, and, we're going to see more of those breaks in the clouds throughout the afternoon. But there will be pockets where we see all of a sudden a quick burst of snow, and I think that starts tonight. You'll see that by this evening, low 40s, mid to upper 30s here outside as we continue to look at this the next few hours. Notice that there are a couple of spots, right? Even if I want to zoom into some of this right now, you can even pull this off and show you what's happening. Look at what's going on if you really want to zoom into Futurecast, and I can kind of move around. What I will tell you is, just looking at the difference between this before I'll zoom back out for you, is let's just look at, say, Alton to St. Charles, right? I can go from place to place where you go from St. Charles all the way to St. Louis, depending on you're on 70, and it may not be snowing at all, and you may run into a pocket where we have these darker shades where, yeah, we get a quick burst of snow, and then you go to the north, you're running into even thicker bursts of snow, and then you go off to the east, and it's not snowing at all. That's what we're going to contend with here as I back this out just a little bit more. So to me, that's the thing that we're going to have to contend with the most, is the fact that, yeah, we're probably going to deal with temperatures mostly above freezing, but this is so widely scattered where there really are no issues in that regard. So I think the rest of the night, we're going to see things settle down. But what to expect this weekend? Yeah, you're going to run into these isolated showers later on today, but also colder air with flurries off and on. Also, Saturday morning, we're breezy. We have a few flurries, no problem whatsoever. Then the cold air, that second round of cold air settles in, and that cold air settles in by Saturday evening. And as the cold air settles in, that's when our weather impact alert kicks in, because our wind chills are near zero, and this is the time frame where I think it's the coldest that we're going to see. The bitter cold weekend, late Saturday into Sunday, wind chills near zero. We're going to continue to see the need for extra layers, pets inside, things of that nature. And I think what you're going to notice is very cold air that's in store for us pretty consistently. Overall, though, Sunday morning, wind chills between 0 and 5 below, not out of the question. I think the wind is a significant factor for us here. You'll see that northwest breeze, watch it here, Saturday, we've got a pretty strong breeze, and it's going to make it feel colder, settles down Sunday briefly, and then picks back up again. And I think it's going to be quite windy Sunday into Monday. Very cold air. Next 10 days, 27 with flurries. Then you'll see that weather impact alert for 11. I know 11 doesn't seem all that aggressive or offensive. It's January, we understand that, but it's very cold. We've got Sunday into Monday, we've got temperatures that are still very cold as well. For the holiday, it's going to be a nice thing for a lot of people being off because it's so cold. But Tuesday and Wednesday, I think we moderate to some degree. I do want to circle this specific day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This could be a thing in the region. I'm not sure what it's going to be for us right now. It's our next best chance of any precipitation, but there are some signs and maybe increasing signs that could be our next winter storm in the region. And I say that in the region very broadly. It doesn't mean it's going to snow in St. Louis. It doesn't mean it's going to be ice, but it's just something that we're watching very carefully because there are signs that things are getting a little bit more, at least involved for that next weekend. Otherwise, we'll focus on the cold air for this weekend. Paul, what's happening?